You guys, I had the most prophetic dream in my life last night, and I want to share it with you guys. And TikTok, this is just for educational purposes. It's just a dream. I know how you like to tussle anytime that I share my dreams with the public. But I had a dream that I was standing on a dock, right? It was late, it was dark. For some reason, I had a basketball in my hand, and just like the Globetrotters, I was doing like the little wave with the ball, doing like this, popping it up and just playing with it and stuff. And it slipped out of my hand and it fell into the water. I heard it splash, gadoosh. So I look over to see the area where the ball was. It wasn't there. And so I'm looking around and I'm like, damn, where's my ball? That's my favorite ball. I'm saying that out loud, like, that's my favorite ball, damn. And I turn around and start walking away. And then behind me, I hear, that's my favorite ball, damn. That's my favorite ball, damn. And so I'm like, what is that? I turn around and I see a dolphin. And it's playing with the ball like how I was playing with it. Like this, it was swimming on his back. And it was like hitting the ball with his nose, between his nose and his tail, like, and it was giggling and it was laughing. And so I'm looking at it and he's like, catch, and he threw it at me and I caught it and it was like, throw it back. And so for like a minute or two, we just throwing the ball back and forth to each other. I'm just amazed that I'm hearing this dolphin talk. And then he hit the ball with his tail, like way harder than normal. Like you could hear it smack, like he spiked it. And it went over my head. And so I'm thinking I'm going to hear this splash from behind me, but I never heard the splash. And so I turn around and I look and I see a figure holding the ball in his hands with two hands, and it's coming towards me. And so I'm just sitting here and watching like, yo, who's that? And then the figure, it jumps up out the water onto the dock. Boom. I can hear it. And so I'm looking at this figure, right? And it's dark, but I can see it has, hair coming down. Has a shiny necklace, right? It had like a metallic suit on, in a sense, with like shiny skin, and it looked like what it appeared to be like a reptilian kind of mermaid kind of like essence. And it came up to me and it said, we found you, I see your light, you're right here, it's you, I found you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, I've been looking for you for so long, your light went out some odd years ago or something like that, and we couldn't find you. We thought we lost you forever, but we seen the specks of your light slowly start to grow, and it attracted all of us to you. And I'm like, who's all of us? What are you talking about? And she makes like this whistle. It was like on a frequency like ooh, in a sense where it was like you could faintly hear it, but it was strong. The next thing you know, I hear like snouts of like water within the thousands, like. And so I look over, it's like thousands and thousands of dolphins swimming in the water with their heads out of the water, just looking at me, giggling like, that's really him, he's back. And I'm sitting here like, what's going on? And so the lady was like, the mermaid or whatever, she was like, you don't remember who I am? And I was like, no, I don't remember you. She was like, we're family. And I'm like, how are we family if you just came out of the water? And she said, you used to be in the water, we used to have a close connection, and you lost that light through the Dark Lord. And I'm like, who's the Dark Lord? Whatever. And she says, come with me and I'm gonna tell you everything to you. So she jumps in the water. I'm standing there on the dock like, I'm not finna get in that water. Girl, you crazy. I can't breathe underwater. And so she says, you really don't remember who you are, do you? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She says, I wonder if you remember this guy. I forgot what his name was, but she points, and then a big ass, from what I thought was a whale, it was actually a dolphin, but the biggest dolphin that I've ever seen, like a super huge shark, but it was clearly a dolphin because it kept clicking when it was talking. And it was like, get. It is you. You not remember me? I forgot what his name was, but it was like, you don't remember me? It was like, we used to go on adventures together, and we used to explore the other worlds from the higher dimensions, and we would meet like at the iceberg or something that he was saying. And I was like, I don't remember you. And he said, jump on my back, I'll take you so that way you can remember who you really were. And when he said that to me, he was speaking telepathically. Like at first he was speaking, and then he was like, I can take you to who you really are, to remember who you really are. Trust me. So I hopped on his back. The dolphin goes underwater, right? Probably like midway, right? And then it just sits there, and then it's talking to me telepathically. He was like, you need to remember how to breathe in this type of water, in your nose, out your mouth, and try to find that cycle. And eventually the water around you is going to get thin and thin. And so I'm doing this, I'm breathing underwater, I'm getting comfortable. And then next thing you know, all the thousands of dolphins that were around me, they started shooting water like a frequency, like from their snout, in the thousands in my direction. It was as if like a bell, like a huge bell was just shaking. And it was like I was inside the bell, but like all like the dark energy and matter that was in me from their frequencies was leaving me, and I could feel it like a parasite or like a demon or whatever lift off of me in the water and was repelled backwards. And right when they like finished like hitting me with their frequencies, it was like my body grew double its size, like my arms, like I was like 15 feet tall and shit, and I was speaking telepathically, not realizing it. It was like my eyes changed, and it was like I can clearly visibly see underwater. And then all of my past memories came back, and I talked to the big dolphin, and I was like, I remember watching you be born. I remember holding you, and you were small. Look how big you are. Wow. And then he started clicking and laughing. He said, okay, do you remember what happened with the Dark Lord? And I'm like, no. And he says, well, every 1,000 or so years that the Dark Lord sends his minions to reset the world above. And so he was telling me that I was somehow tricked out of the water or something, and that the Dark Lord, who controls the people of the land, uses them in order to reset every so often, so that way people can go back to worshiping the Dark Lord. It was saying that when people get too smart, that they understand who's the evil and who's good, and they start choosing a side. If more people start leaning towards the light, then the evils of this world dwindle down. In order to keep that relationship, they need that worship from the people, and so they trick the people to worship the evil unknowingly. And so they were saying that these bunkers that these elites have, they've always been here. They use those bunkers every time they reset the world, and when it's safe to come up top, then that's when they come up top and they reset our technology to day one, and then they slowly bring us back through the process of knowledge, which is all lies. And she was saying that they need my help to stop them from resetting the world again, because if they reset the world again this time, the world would never be able to reach its enlightenment period. And so now is the time to enlighten the people, and the only person that can do that is you. He was talking to me. And they were saying that all of the dolphins was waking up the frequencies of the world, of the animals around them, so that way the animals can tell the humans that the reset is near, and that now is the time for them to reach a higher power. Please like for a part